resources we can sustainably use here in New Hampshire. Not only will we help the world, we'll also help our state by keeping the money here and not sending it to the Middle East. There are companies here, manufacturing companies like GT Solar, which will benefit from an investment in green technologies, in green energy production.
Yeah, GT Solar Merrimack,
That's right.
New Hampshire.
One of the biggest
local
in the
company.
country. Local company.
Local jobs.
Local jobs. Fortunately now, I think we have the extension of the renewable energy tax credits, which will benefit companies like GT Solar, keep the investment climate predictable, rather than having these tax credits come in and out where business people can't predict the future. To have them be stable over a prolonged period of time, you get the investment in the kind of products that GT Solar and others here in the state make. So we can invest, and I think that's what the President-elect is talking about. We can invest in technologies which will help us with the climate, and they will build a green economy which will help us with our balance of payments to the Middle East. And they build high-tech professional jobs to reinvigorate our economy, and New Hampshire will benefit from that.
Yeah, but now New Hampshire is actually at the center of a lot of this. It's really surprising. I mean, if you let me throw my 2 cents worth in, I mean, we have a wind farm in New Hampshire.
That's
I mean,
right.
the first in Goshen, Lemster, folks. We have a wind farm. We have 12 giant windmills up there, and in December this year, 2008, they're going to be complete, and they're going to generate enough electricity for 10,000 homes.
That's right.
And it's going to create jobs. That's the first. That's a demonstration project. So this is not airy-fairy. This is business and saving energy in New Hampshire.
Smart investment.
Smart investment. And a lot of the focus of this work is coming out of the University of New Hampshire, research on biodiesel, biofuels. Now there's another one that we're aware of in Goffstown, Larry Brown, Goffstown Hardware. A lot of us shop there. We've seen the brand new building. It's beautiful. It's a demonstration project. That giant building is heated at 1/4 the cost of the old building, and it's geothermal.
Wow.
Geothermal, electric. It's a tremendous demonstration project. I'll give another plug. I've done a show and talked to Larry and spent time talking about this. And it's really an amazing thing. He's saving money. It's a win-win.
And didn't you mention that this is PSNH had been involved in
Public
this?
Service initiated this project. Public Service approached Larry Brown about this. Of course, they want to sell electricity. See, this seems to me to be a competition between oil companies trying to protect their core businesses and using these fossil fuels. And we are, to use a technical term, approaching peak oil. This material took millions of years to create. It's not going to be there forever. It's not. But we have some core businesses, our oil companies, that are trying to protect this core business. And they're competing in the marketplace with all these alternative energy development. Now, unfortunately, or from my perspective, or some people's perspective, they have the political might. They've had the economics. They're entrenched.
A lot of money there.
But in New Hampshire, we have these demonstration projects creating local jobs, saving energy, saving the environment, doing the right moral thing. I mean, it seems to me a no-brainer for us. Another one I could mention, there's a company, Citizen Ray, in New Hampshire who's trying to set up solar panels in conjunction with public service again, where you have solar panels on your house and there's no batteries. It's an interactive system. During the day, when there's a lot of electricity, you're selling energy to public service. At night and during the dark time, public service is pumping it back to you. I mean, it's an interactive win-win. Yeah. I mean, and that's tremendous. And also, and I could go on with this, and I don't want to get too far away, but in terms of alternatives to carbon fuels, there are biofuels. And one of these is, I don't know if you've heard of algae lipid oil. Mm-hmm. It turns out our most common thing, algae, which absorbs CO2, is edible, and 50% of its weight's in oil. I mean, there's so many of these. We could go on and on and on. So it looks like it's a really interesting thing that we should talk about. Now, in terms of your organization, Just Democracy, I mean, where do you see the future? Where are you going with Just Democracy and your organization?
Well, we've been working here in New Hampshire since May, so it's about 6 months now, and we saw this first period of work as something of a pilot test or an experimentation period. So we tried a lot of different things. The forum that our audience has seen some of tonight. We did a number of other initiatives over the last 6 months. Right now we're assessing, have we met our goals? What things worked, what things didn't work? And given funding, we intend to grow our organization here in New Hampshire. We have a good base of members across the state, and we would like to grow that over the next 2 to 4 years to continue to work to mobilize activists from progressive communities of faith to allow them to work on legislative issues. For example, the Climate Change Task Force is going to be recommending legislative action. We and our members hope to engage with our representatives and our senators in Concord to support bold action on climate change. This is one example of the kind of thing that we want to continue to do here in New Hampshire. The Climate Change Task Force is recommending, I think, very bold action, and I'm really happy with that. And they're aware, and we're all aware, that when it goes to the legislature, it will then be, there will be compromises made.
Sure.
And that's part of the process. We know that.
Sure.
We want to hold up the bold side. We want to support the bold side, because when compromises are made, we want to be making the argument about justice. We want to make the argument about building our green economy here in New Hampshire, and so forth. So we hope to continue to do that. We also, because we're a national organization, although I, as director, am based here, I'm from Durham, I live in Durham, we hope to identify another state or two where there is a strong progressive faith community, where the political situation and electoral situation is vibrant and, dare I say, a battleground like we are here in New Hampshire, where we can make a difference and have influence and raise our voice in a way which will have an impact here in our political system. So over the next few weeks we're going to think about that. We're going to think about how can we continue our work here in New Hampshire and how we may be able to expand to another state or two. A lot of it depends on funding. But we've learned a lot during these 6 months. Some things worked. Some things I think we've learned didn't work. But we're excited. We think we made a difference here this year, and we're optimistic. So that's it's a matter of choosing what to do next, and we're optimistic that there are opportunities. The people I've been talking to think, both in my membership and in the political establishment here, the progressive coalition here in New Hampshire, there is a place for progressive faith-based communities to speak in this state. There is a need for that voice, and there aren't many instruments. There aren't many spaces for that. So to some extent we provide, I think, a necessary space to advance that voice here in our state. So yeah. We hope to continue.
Well, I thank you. I thank you very much for being willing to take that work on, my own personal opinion, and I think it's extremely important. And, you know, as you pointed out, I mean, it's about compromising and moving forward in a situation. Well, at least in terms of this climate change energy task force, which is initiated in New Hampshire, it sounds like the end of this year, 2008, they're going to be coming together with some plans.
That's
and
right.
I wonder if you'd be willing to come back and maybe share some of that with us, see where it's going.
That'd be great.
We can look at it next year, or we could do another show. Keep everyone focused.
That would be great.
I know I certainly have learned a lot about this. I think it's helpful. I hope you have. And I'm repeating myself, but I want to thank you, Mark, for coming on and sharing with us.
Thank you very much.
So my name is Ivan Beliveau, host and producer of Right to Know, and I invite you to stay tuned.